since we on Lady Gaga, let's get into that because it was gonna be another topic, but I was like, you know what? Last minute change. Let's get into her. So apparently, well, we already kind of knew this that was going on with Lady Gaga because I think Robert and I have talked about this privately, but because even when I'm not on this show, I'm consistently bombarded with entertainment news. Not that I'm complaining, I'm just saying. But when it comes down to it, so we already know, like, okay, now Lady Gaga put out the disease video. Well, she first of all, she took too long. I've said that what she should have did was you put out the song and you should have put out the video. To me personally, I felt like the visuals was underwhelming for me. I didn't particularly care for the video. I like the overall look. Like I like the dark hair. I love the blonde roots with the dark hair. I like the reverse because normally you see it's always blonde hair that's dyed with the dark roots. But I like that she reversed it. I also like some of the imagery and stuff. I did like the car chase thing, which shout out to whoever did this video. I posted it on my social medias, but it was Madonna's What It Feels Like for a Girl. They matched it up with Lady Gaga's Disease. So they had Madonna in the car chasing Lady Gaga down the street in the car. I saw that and I cackled because it was like, we got the funny thing about Madonna and Gaga and that sort of thing. But anyway, nevertheless, she did the promotional thing for Disease. The song came and went like a fart in the wind, and they said that she's still trekking on regardless of the reception of the song, which hasn't done really well in the charts. Now, despite the lead single Disease stalling on the Hot 100 at number 27, the 38-year-old is forging ahead with her next album, which she described as both fun and darker. Now, speaking to Vogue magazine about the project, Gaga said that she's been focused on the production side of her new songs, saying, I love producing, I always have, and something that was really important to me making my seventh album was blending live instrumentation with programming. Well, Trent Reznor does that too. Shout out to him. The album is chaotic in genre from a genre perspective. It is genre bending, and I think in that way is a deeply personal look into my mind as a producer and the way I think about music. She also said the album has a darker pop sound that's more in line with her iconic 2009 album, The Fame Monster. However, fans need not be worried that Gaga is going too somber with her sound. The album is not extremely serious in that it's very fun and meant to be enjoyed at a party, in a club, or at home having personal fun time. To be free of your worries at home or walking through life, she insisted. Well, I think I was like, you know what? I definitely get that from the album, but I feel like a lot of people probably feel in a way that while the comparisons obviously they were on the nose in regards of Disease being similar to what we heard from the Fame Monster era with Bad Romance and that whole vibe. It's like, yeah, mixing like electronic pop music with a bit of that industrial sound. And I've told y'all that many times, like I enjoy industrial music. I listen to a lot of industrial music that comes out of like overseas, particularly in Germany and all that other stuff. So I always kind of like that sound. When it was like VNV Nation or Adriano Kanzian, who I actually have I still have his album. And inside, I think the album was called Pornography. And child, when you pull out the booklet, because I bought it from the store at the time. You know what? I miss the old days, but it was like you would buy book. I mean, like the CDs and all the other stuff, and you would get the pictures, and it was all child, they had penises and everything up in there. So I was like, when you buy something, people just don't bat an eye because it was like I would go to Virgin Market store, I would buy all these albums, and people just didn't care. I would buy, all kinds of stuff. So when you would listen to a lot of these, I would listen to a lot of these electronic or industrial type of artists and that sort of thing. And um, I do feel that maybe what it is with her is that, I mean, and the song was her fans liked it and music critics liked it. Well, actually, maybe I should ask if people like it because I did watch a lot of reaction videos, and sometimes when I be watching them reaction videos, because there was one point that I did go down a Lady Gaga Disease rabbit hole of watching a lot of reaction videos of people. Some of y'all up in there was doing a little too much, and I'm like, okay, now if you really think you're gonna get an Oscar for the way y'all up in here doing these reaction videos, I have news for you. I'm about to give your ass a Razzie. In fact, I'm gonna throw it at you. I'm not even gonna give it to you. I'm gonna throw it at your ass and hopefully hit you upside the head. Because I've been sitting there watching some of these videos and I'm like, nobody really acts like that when they're watching a reaction. But y'all doing the most. You hear one sound, all of a sudden y'all falling out all over the floor like you done lost your damn mind. And it's like, sis, relax. You be an extra for no damn reason, just so you can get them hundreds of clicks and likes. But in the words of my girl Peaches from a Low Down Dirty Shame to Sally Richardson, I see through all that Maybelline, so you're not getting over it on me. But anyway, I went down this rabbit hole or whatever the case was, and I was like, the song is cute or whatever. I like that she's going back to basics with the thing, but I feel like she waited too long, and that's probably why maybe it didn't really chart. That maybe her fans just evolved and moved on, and they're like, oh, now because you at a crossroad in your life, and it feels similar to what Katy Perry is dealing with the 143 era, that it's like, you're approaching that age. I mean, Katy Perry's already at 40. You're 2 years shy of 40. Because they said she's 38, but I could have sworn she was 39. But whatever. She's 2 years shy of 40. So now, career-wise, because you put out a multitude of albums, you're at that crossroads. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely curious to hear sonically and artistically what you've cooked up in the studio regarding mixing live instrumentation with a lot of those electronic sounds, because I always have this thought in my mind. It's like, okay, because I'm thinking that's what she's thinking. How do I approach these type of songs on a stage in a live situation? And I'm sure we will get a taste of that when she headlines Coachella for 2 nights. So she'll be able to give us a lot of that. And yeah, how do you merge that whole sound? Because a lot of times, like, you'll get the people up there playing the band stuff, the live stuff, and then you'll get people who play up the electronic stuff, and you don't see them playing none of the instruments at all. So it's sort of like it's programmed. But it's like, yeah, you want to give that live music vibe to it. But I do feel like she's at a crossroads. I do feel like that they like that Die With A Smile song. And I think it's because she's focused so much on playing in that genre of music, the one that, the song that she has with Bruno Mars, then now it's like, now you're trying to go back to, oh, I need to make a pop album because I got to remind people of what it was before. And I think that stems from because when Lady Gaga came out with the Fame and Born This Way and art pop and that sort of thing, when an art pop became an art flop, that she was looked upon as like, oh, she's a gimmick. Oh, she's only good for the costumes and the kookiness and coming out in an egg and what she gonna and the meat dress and all the other stuff. And don't get me wrong, I live for the extravagance of it all because as a homosexual, we like the pomp and circumstance of when a pop star steps outside and does all these kooky crazy things because what you're doing calls for that. But I think she got too caught up in listening to the naysayers and was like, oh, now I have to prove myself as a musician where I play the piano and I play all these different instruments and I can actually sing. And I'm not just some thing that, some manufactured pop star. And I don't think that's what she is, but I just think she got so caught up in that. And then by the time she's felt like, okay, now I've proven everything, where I'm taken seriously as a contemporary artist, now I can go back to the thing, and now y'all can, now I can go back to doing the pop stuff. But at this point, I feel like maybe the outside of the hardcore little monsters who just accept anything she makes. I mean, I don't know how they feel about the jazz. Y'all can let me know in the comments down below. But outside of the hardcore little monsters who stuck by her from the beginning and just like everything that she does, I don't necessarily know how receptive people are of like, have they come back? Because the song really didn't do all that well. And they said that was like one of the lowest rated, one of the lowest, what is it? Her worst entry for a lead single in 16 years is basically what they said. Now, it also says to finish this up on the bright side, Gaga is currently enjoying one of her biggest hits in years, thanks to her Bruno Mars duet Die With A Smile. The ballad has so far reached #2 on the Hot 100 and #1 on the pop airplay chart. It comes after her lead role in the disastrous Joker Folie. Now, the follow-up to Oscar-winning 2019 film starring Joaquin Phoenix, they're all that mess. Oh, and child, let me finish this up because somebody even went in and read. It was a little shady in regards to what they said about they knew from being on set that the movie was going to flop. So a guy by the name of Tim, who's 39, who played a guard at Arkham Asylum in the movie, said Todd Phillips' new film has no plot and admitted he knew it was going to bomb while filming. Now, speaking to the Road Jogan Experience podcast, he said it's the worst film ever made. He said, I think what happened after the first Joker, there was a lot of talk like, oh, this was loved by incels. This was loved by the wrong kinds of people. This sent the wrong kind of message. Male rage, nihilism, all these think pieces. And then I think, what if we went the other way? And now they have Joaquin and Lady Gaga tap dancing to a point where it's insane. I had no plot. I mean, he said it had no plot. We would sit there, me and these other guys were all dressed up in these security outfits because we're working in the Arkham Asylum, and I would turn to one of them and we'd hear this crap and go, what the fuck is this? And they go, this is gonna bomb, man. I go, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. We were talking about it at lunch and we go, what is the plot? Where is there a plot? I don't know. I think he falls in love with her in the prison. It's not even hate watchable. That's how terrible it is. Well, child, I could have told you that. I was like, first of all, y'all already know how I feel about the first Joker. I hated that damn movie. And it's not hate. I know hate is a strong word, but child, I hated that movie. I remember I went to the movies and said, I'm like, the fuck is this shit? Like, I understand y'all was sending me to my incels and all this other stuff. And I'm just sitting there looking at it like, I get the whole point of like, oh, society failed him. And he's like a good guy that's been going through life just trying to do all the right things. And then it's just so many things are going against him. So he's like, oh, if I can't beat it, join him. And I'm just going to commit all these crimes or whatever. Instead of taking responsibility for whatever's going on in your life, you're lashing out at other people. So that's what I got from the damn movie. So if you want to sit and call that like incels, then maybe that's what that is that you see a lot of these people, especially the ones that y'all want to say voted for Trump or whatever, are ones who don't want to take responsibility for a lot of the things that they've said and done in life. So they want to point the finger at other people instead of looking within themselves and figuring out, well, what am I doing wrong and how do I make myself a better human being? So I say all this to say, I still don't want to see no damn Joker Folie do. I already know it's on one of the streaming things that I think I can go on Peacock, not Peacock. I can go on Prime Video and rent it. I would never, even if it ended up on one of the streaming services for free. Even though I'm paying my monthly subscription, I still wouldn't watch that damn movie because it looks. I like I said, if I could not stand watching the first one, what makes you think I'm gonna sit through the sequel? Which, quiet as it's kept, none of us asked for in the first place. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are you guys excited to see this new movie, or not new movie, this Lady Gaga album? Are you excited? I got distracted. Sorry. Let's start that over again. Let's say, let's say, what do you think of this story? Are you guys excited for LG7? Are you excited to hear the type of songs that's coming up on there? What do you think about Disease? Do you feel like it sounds like some song that was left on the cutting room floor from the famed Monster era, and then she just dusted off, rejudged it, add a little yang yang to it, and now she wants to make this a hit? And are you interested in hearing what she's going to come with this whole dark pop sound? Me, I'm always curious to hear what people who are at that legendary music status is going to cook up in the studio in regards to like the music, especially if you're in the wheelhouse of pop music or dance or electronic, any of that type of genre music. I'm definitely curious to hear. I actually like Disease. I know there's some people have a mixed reaction of it, but I actually like the song. And I like the idea that it's longer than 2.5 damn minutes, because y'all already know how I feel about these short ass songs y'all be coming out with. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.